Hello, my name is Harsh and welcome to Why So Harsh. I've always wanted to know a lot about this world, and through this show, I'm going to meet people and try to understand this world better through their perspective, without any judgment. Welcome back.
Hi Harsh.
So today's episode is kind of twisted.
Okay.
It is about a podcaster doing a podcast with a podcaster. All right. Weird. So let's get straight to the point. Joining me today is Revant. He is a fellow podcaster, a budding entrepreneur, and a business grad also.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling?
I'm good, Harsh. It's very new to be a guest on the pod.
Yeah, how the turntables?
Yeah, it's very new to me, and also it's great.
Are you worried?
No, I'm a bit confused, like how to present myself.
Don't worry. So no one is going to see us anyway. No one knows how we look.
Correct. Right.
So let's jump straight into the topic. Explain to me what is podcasting in general and what is podcasting for you.
All right. So podcasting technically is the distribution of really simple syndicate link and distribute our content. So it's basically podcast is like an on-demand radio, wherein you can directly listen to a podcast. Stream a podcast on internet. Like you get it on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and stuff. So podcasting is basically an audio version of a content, where to me it's very easy to produce audio content. And podcasting to me it's a learning tool to talk, to communicate, to articulate well. So that's how I started podcasting, and I'm just enjoying the process of creating podcasts.
And what does it mean for you specifically?
To me, as I told you, podcasting is to me to challenge my vulnerability. As I told you before.
Yes.
So I used to suffer a lot from stammering.
Yes, you did tell me about.
I have a lot of, I have crazy stage fear.
We will also talk about that today.
Yeah. So that's how my thing is, like to counter it, or to deal with my vulnerability was my take on podcasting. So it helped me a lot to talk to people, to open up, and also to challenge my own weakness.
Great. So what was your main intention, your motive behind starting your podcast, which is Pure Perception, right?
Right. Motive, it's not about motive, Harsh. The idea was to create content. So because even when I was in Inter, as you know, I was like fascinating. I was very fascinated to create content, like short films, like telling stories and stuff. So my first intention was to create a short film, but I did few short films, as you know. We did the short film, right? So as you know, it's very logistically challenging. You need to.
It is.
You need to. Get a cinematographer, you need to get a director, to a storyteller, writer, story writer, actors and stuff. It's very challenging. So I thought I want to make it something it's very easy or independent to create. So that's how I started listening to podcasts from 2019. And one of my favorite podcaster, Varun Duggi, I follow him. I treat him as an
Advertising is Dead is his podcast, right?
Correct. So I always consider him as my digital mentor. I listen to his podcast. I binge listen to his podcast, and I started to think, why can't I create a podcast like this in Telugu? That too in Telugu, in regional language, so people might listen. So that was the initial thought that I had, and we procrastinated. I and my friend,
High five.
So my idea was to create a podcast with my friend. I want him to co-host, but somehow he gave me hand. The guys. So we did one episode.
Are we also going to diss about him on today's episode?
Not really. He's my friend from. He's my colleague from office. Okay, he's my colleague from office. So we started. We have a lot of entrepreneurship plans. Like we want to start different startups. But somehow I even started this merchandise store called Crazy. Okay, and it's not running.
You're wearing
Yeah, I'm
that
wearing my
hoodie
own
right
hoodie,
now.
yeah. So we started off a merchandise store called Crazy, and we're not we're burning a lot of cash. So then I sat with one of my colleague, and he was like, Revan, why don't you like ditch off retail? I mean, don't do e-commerce and stuff. You start doing content, because content is king. He was telling about content stats and stuff. We are into data science, like the data company, a market research company. So he got placed in Boston Consulting Group. So he did some research on content, on podcasting and video and audio content creation. So he gave me this cue. It's better to start a podcast, and I think you can do. So I was shocked. I can't do podcasting, man. I have a lot of
Like
stammering.
someone suddenly coming and giving you a hint.
No, podcast start cheyra ante. I was like shocked. Like how can I do a podcast, because I even stammer a lot. I can't talk. I can't articulate. I go haywire and stuff. Like no, alla chestane you can learn. You can నేర్చుకుంటావరా ante. Okay, sure. I thought ki let's take a challenge. So I'm my friend from Australia. His name's Anirudh, my first episode ka guest. So I told him this idea. We used to talk daily after office hours. He used to invest in my startup. So I was talking, Anirudh, we'll do this podcast. And he was like, I'm not sure. We procrastinated for weeks. We'll do it tomorrow. We'll do it. So one day, it's in like this year February. I mean last year February, 2020 February. Yeah, 2020 February. We started. It's like Adu. We'll do it. We'll record. We record karenge chesidam. Edo chesidam. We started on Zoom. We're recording, and I put my first episode on Feb 21st, I guess. Yeah. So that's how it started to me, and it was quite experimental start to me. It was not articulated, or there's no plan to it. So from second episode onwards, I started planning, like how to do and how to stuff. So that's how it started.
That's been quite a challenge for you then. But then you have come a long way from just doing it on whim to planning things out and meeting a lot of people. Not meeting, but
virtually
Zoom,
talking to them.
Virtually meeting. Correct. So that you have done 35 episodes in the last year alone. What is your biggest takeaway from this entire experience? And also, what is the best insight that you have gained from a single person or from a collective?
Okay. Yeah. So my learning from entire like producing 35 episodes and also 10 fictional podcast episodes, I think it's very important to have a perspective, and also you have to challenge your perspective. You think what's right for you in any which way, right? So you think that what you know about something, that's true.
Correct.
Okay. So there is a nuance to anything that we know.
Yeah, our mind is very myopic. We are very short-sighted in this big world view.
We think what we do is it's true. It's the ultimate truth.
Yeah,
like what we know is truth. But there are like only when you challenge that thing. Like there is more to learn, and also there is this probability assessment that we need to do. I've recently.
Can you explain me that?
Probability assessment is like you need to have this mindset of maybe.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Right.
We
what if?
What if maybe? We I mean, these days we don't have this thing called maybe. We always have this is what it is. Yeah. So I wanted to challenge that. So my key takeaway from talking to different people of different backgrounds from different countries, my takeaway was that what you know is
from absolute to giving yourself the chance to look at all the different possibilities.
Yeah. There's a lot of possibilities out there. We always stick to what's in our mind, right? We all conditioned from schooling, from college, from everything that we from a childhood, from parenting and stuff. Well conditioned. So my idea was to this is not the ultimate thing that we know. There's a lot to learn, and we have a lot of information online, YouTube, and knowing it from people. And I also strongly believe that every person has a story to tell.
That is true.
Every person has an experience to share. So that was the intention in starting Pure Perception.
And now Pure Perception has grown into a big...
it's still growing. We're still expecting a lot of traction. But the thing is, in these times, as we talked in the pre-chat, like attention span, the decreasing levels of attention span, my intention, like it's tough to retain your someone your audience or your listener to more than 10 to 15 minutes. Like before we are creating fundamentals of this content,
Yes.
piece, content designing, my intention was to keep it very freewheeling and healthy. But one of my friend is from Srivastav. He worked with our team, like building its foundations for P2. So he was telling about itla kaadu Revan, we'll do some formatting. We experimented a lot. Experimenting is a lot,
Through different podcast episodes.
Yeah. Because we have an episode of 15 minutes, we have an episode of 16 minutes, we have 1 hour.
Yeah, I remember having conversations with you about what length seems correct.
Length,
and one time I told you that I wish you had 45 to 50 minutes of episodes.
Correct. Yeah.
So you have ended up to a sweet spot, I assume now.
Yeah, right now I'm averaging the episode average runtime is around 43 minutes. So that's how we stop. We are stuck to it.
You must have longer conversations, but then you cut them down.
Yeah. We am pre-planning and questioning also. It's all experimenting, Harsh. You can't just fix on one thing. It's all experimenting, and also if you're catering to someone, if you're trying to build a community of people listening to you, it's very important that you know their preferences also. If your intention is that.
Correct. So tell me, what kind of audience are you exactly catering to, and what is your objective in the long run?
My demographic, like who my target is, like around 23 to 27 who are into their jobs or like midlife or like middle age of 20 to 25. And also my audience, we're not fixing on the audience. We're just trying to give it distributing content so that we can assess this. We're still, it's too early to tell that I'm delivering content to these kind of people. We have people from different people who are first time listeners to the podcast. So we have like bunch of listeners who heard for the first time the podcast of P2 only.
They got introduced to podcasting by you.
Yeah.
That is great.
Yeah. That too in Telugu language, they were like first time they listened to the podcast. So we're just catering to those people and also trying to explain to them like, this is the podcast and the AD from basic way of explaining to them.
I remember you from 12th. It's been 7-8 years that I know
2013,
you.
2013. Yeah.
8 years I've known you, and back then you had the same fanatism, about entrepreneurship and building things.
Right.
And at that time you were very interested about this venture that you started up called Elan.
Yeah.
Right. So I want to know what you wanted to do with that.
Elan was my first ever Facebook page. It was a Facebook page, and the idea was to my inspiration. Like I used to look up to Steve Jobs.
Correct.
My frame. Like,
I see Steve Jobs' frame in your bedroom.
Steve Jobs, and like I used to follow him like crazy. I used to keep his quotes on my statuses and stuff. So I through that, that I used to be very fascinated about technology back then. So I wanted to write about technology. So Elan was a blog, basically typically a blog. I used to write about technology. I and my friend Jerome Paulraj, we used to write blogs. So through Elan, what I wanted to do was to build a brand from Elan only. Okay, I wanted to build a brand, and also I wanted to work with people who can write for me.
Yeah, you also approached me back then.
Correct. So I wanted to close the deal while asking my the other person to write for me. So that's what it's a thought experiment. Like if I ask them, like, can they write? But it worked out because I worked with people who are elder than me, like 4 to 5 years elder than me. Back then we were only 16 to 15 years, right? So they used to write for me. We started off space. We have a guy who wrote about space astronomy, like astrology and stuff. We have a guy who wrote about history. We have a guy who wrote about gadgets, that technology. We have different people who wrote about, and in turn it helped them to like put it on the resumes on the resumes. So Elan was the first step, that first brand that I built. It's a Facebook page typically. We still have that page. It's still.
What happened to it after that?
it got faded away. Like the problem with Elan was it's not a problem. It was a challenge that we couldn't cater to the right audience. We don't know like whom to target.
Yeah.
We're just putting out content. It was just being on the page. There's no reads, there's no likes, there's no shares. No one was consuming that content.
I remember at that time I was also crazy about photography. I used to speak to you.
Correct.
You know.
Correct.
And at that time I made a page, and then I was like, putting that down in throats of people. Ki, please watch my content,
correct.
like it, share it, blah blah blah. Now even I understand that things do fade away because we did not have a direction back then.
Correct.
Right, and we also did not have a good backing.
We just want to do something, then we did it like, without any.
Yeah, but we did not procrastinate back then.
Yeah.
So we have come from not having a better idea about things to having a lot of insight. But then we have also gone from being very active to being very dull about things.
The curve was very downward trending curve. Yeah.
Like at once you do great things, but then you also
we had like immense energy back then. Like we don't have any pressure from like. We only have to study and just do something.
You remember that GIF, like when you have money, you don't have time and energy.
Yeah. When you have money, you don't have time and energy to do stuff. So back then we have immense energy and a lot of curiosity to do stuff, learn stuff and stuff. So that's how it.
Why does entrepreneurship excite you so much? Because most of the time you just talk about it. That is your whole talking point all the time.
Correct.
Why does it excite?
I think entrepreneurship to me is more of an value addition. Okay,
it adds value to your life.
No. Value addition is like it's both like how can I say? Value addition is not just me getting value out of it, also adding value to other people's life. So that's to me like that's how I define entrepreneurship to me, and also solving a problem. If someone has a problem, if you're helping them solving that problem, that's an entrepreneurship. Okay, the entrepreneurship is also like it's not just a thing that it has to be it has to be a mindset also. I always think like an entrepreneur. Like what is the problem and who can, like how can I solve it? So that's how I work. That's how I define entrepreneurship to me. And also I'm very fascinating because I have this lot of interest. Or I can say that I am very desperately want to build a brand.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just want to have that brand stuff to me. So I love creating brands. So we created around 6 to 7 brands, I guess. Like 6 to 7 brands.
Yeah, you were also doing affiliate marketing.
Affiliate marketing, discount buy, Elan, lot of stuff. We were crazy, Elephando, and now P2. So P2, P2 is my passion right now.
And also P2 is the most completed product at.
Do you think so?
I do, because if I compare P2 with your previous ventures trying and error wala things.
Trial and error, yeah, correct.
This thing seems out to be the most well thought of and presented. Okay. So that's why I tell it's the most complete.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We did a lot of pivots to reach here. So that's how it happened.
So Revant, now that you have done so many episodes, do you also feel like it's enough for now? Because there are a lot of logistical challenges, I assume, in making a episode.
Yeah.
So do you sometimes feel like, okay, I will just leave it for a month or for a week or so?
Okay. So coming to that point, I have done 25 episodes back to back. 25 episodes, 25 weeks. Like you were on the 25th episode. And after 25th episode, I took a break. And it's very important to take breaks. I recently realized when you burn out and stuff, you continuously try to produce content, edit, sit on the table, because I have my day job to work. So I used to get tired and stuff, but still I pushed myself because we got nothing to lose doing a podcast. So that's how it went. And back then, what happened is I thought I'll do 25 episodes and take a break, and took it. And after 25th episode, I was kind of low in my energy.
So was that because I was on your 25th episode?
No.
And the audience went down, it was like, let's say it was at 100%, then my episode
No,
came and we
people liked your episode, and because the episode was very, it's very specific to the books that you've read, right? So people were like, they thought ki it's not up to the mark for sure. But I somehow I can't, because I was doing it for myself from 25th episode onwards. I started doing it for myself. I want to learn something from, because before also I had that thing that I want to do it for my like along with me, people will also listen to the experience. But from 25th I became very selfish, and my energy was low.
Yeah.
We'll do it tomorrow. I used to procrastinate. But after 25th episode, I started the other podcast called NBK. NBK is like Nikhil, Bini, Karan. It's a buddy comedy fictional podcast. I created it. I mean, I and Bharat, the guys who's shooting us, we both sat and wrote the idea, and we did. If you remember, we did that in a short film format, web series format, two-part series format. It didn't work out back then. We started doing, why can't we do that in audio? Okay, we started doing. We wrote it on, because it took me a lot of time to produce that NBK. So what I thought was, I'll do it because I was equally motivated to do NBK, because it's quite a new format and nobody yet tried in Telugu. So that's and it's a comedy podcast. People were flocking to it. People listen to it. We even ranked for like 2. We like in India's top 2 Apple podcast. Under category of comedy fiction.
That is great, actually.
We even ranked. So it was motivating for me. So that's how that boosted it. So I even continued doing podcasts like Pure Perception with Revant and Poju, like every alternate Friday.
Correct.
That's how it worked for me.
So you're releasing episodes on the fortnight?
Yeah. Fortnight, like couple of weeks.
Or sometimes you kind of push here and there.
No, I didn't push it. Like currently in this year, I'm trying to push it. Because I just want to reconnect with rewire
because
myself.
You have become a celebrity now.
I don't think so. Because see, my audience are very introverted audience to me. Like how you are, people are like you. Right?
I think podcast in itself is for people who are usually introverted. Don't get me wrong. But
yeah, it's in like partially for those people, because what I advocate is like your personality reflects on your audience.
It does, because now I am an introverted person.
Okay.
And podcast is a medium for me to just talk to you. While people will listen to me, I do not have to see them listening to me.
Okay.
Right. So that is a barrier, and that I feel that protects me from any assumptions.
Podcasting. Lot of introverted creators have come up doing podcasting. No? Even I've seen a lot of people who are very shy to talk, or maybe even like coming to that. Even I was very shy because I always try to be behind the camera, working like producer or director or something like that. But podcasting, you are the voice. Your voice is enough. Like you don't have to, because camera though we become very conscious. So
also, it helps to have a great voice, because you do have a very deep voice.
Okay, thank
you. That actually that helps when people are listening to you, because they suddenly realize someone's voice is great. They give you attention.
Okay.
Not just the content in itself.
Even I observed that. Yeah. Your voice is very important, Harsh.
It is.
Start me, I fumbled, I mumbled. I was like, I was not even talking to people.
I try to be deep, but then I cannot be deep.
No. I was like, what I was telling us, like starting May, I never used to add.
Yeah. Oh, so
I just used to ask questions.
Yeah. Now that you have spoken about fumble, you told me that you have struggled with stammering a lot throughout your life.
Yeah.
So
childhood. Yeah.
Tell me something about that experience, and also how you have come out of it, if you have totally.
Like it was in class 2 or class 3. I never used to talk much. Like I was a silent kid. So like being silent, no, I have this. I used to daydream a lot in school and stuff, and I never used to articulate well. I used to talk. People used to ask, like teachers used to ask me to talk, like recite a poem in Telugu or English. I never used to do that. I used to get a lot of. It was fun. To me, it was very dreadful experience talking to someone, talking on a stage, addressing people, and it continued till college. In 10th class and 9th class, people used to, like, teachers used to mock me. As in, they used to, "Arey, intra Telugu maatladaniki raadu, innatti." Like, they never should. No one asked me, like, if a Telugu teacher asked me, "Arey, Revant, నీకు రాకపోతే ఇలా ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయాలా చేయాలా," I would have learned it. They used to humiliate me, or they used to mock me, like before all my classmates. I used to have I used to be a very low confident guy, and even I have this conflicting personality, like in schooling.
Are you talking you have split personality?
No, conflicting personality as in it's not split personality. It's like conflicting as in I used to dance. I used to perform dance before, like, bunch of, like, before my school, entire school, and a lot of people know me. Like, they used to recognize me. I used to dance a bit. I even have few fans. Like, they used to call me. They used to ask me to dance and stuff. So I had that popular personality. In class, I used to be very low personality.
Oh yeah,
low in confidence.
You are shifting from these
conflicting.
things.
I never used to figure out. Like, who am I? Am I a good dancing Revant, or am I like mediocre Revant?
Average person.
Yeah, average person.
And at that age, dealing with this doubt,
I was clueless. Yeah, I was clueless.
It's very stressful for the mind.
Yeah. My mind. We're still growing. It's very nascent and stuff. So I was like, I was very confused. So in that confusion, I came out of school, college. We even passed off. Like inter was like an passing cloud. It just went off like that. But in college, in bachelor's, it's very important that you talk. The way you talk, the way you communicate, builds a brand for you. So even I fumbled, but the good thing I've done is, like, I never used to feel low. I used to challenge myself. If someone asked me to talk, even come and speak, come give a presentation on I used to give, even though I used to stammer, and I used to do a lot of fillers, like so. I used to use a lot of so's. But I never stopped. I never sat back, kuchoni. I used to face it. The college taught me to face your challenges, face your weaknesses. So that's how I navigated through entire 3 years of my bachelor's. So I did my BBA. The crowd that I went studied with are like crazy, man. They're all from different backgrounds. So that helped me a lot to be myself.
You have exposed yourself to a lot of
different people, and you can't just pretend to be someone with them. You have to just be yourself. You can't be a business guy, because my family is not into traditional business, but their family is into business from past 30 years. You have to be Revant, then you have to ask them, business, and what is the business about? Say I have a friend called Keshav. He does this like idli pindi. What is it? Like it's called urad dal, I guess. So they do business of that from 30 years. And I have no experience in any business for first generation. So we used to sit in the same bench. We should talk. I even learned to talk new language. They have new different culture out there. Begum Bazaar and Hyderabad. Yeah. I come from like suburb from Malkajgiri, Secunderabad and stuff. So it's all challenging perspective. You have to I used to sit with them and used to talk different stuff. We used to play different games. It was new to me. It was challenging also. But somehow I navigated, learned a lot.
So from those nascent days of being conflicted to figuring yourself out, that was a good journey.
Yeah, college to me, it added a lot of value.
So also college was the time when you came out of this issue and you figured out
in college also I used to be very low in confidence. I was like, because in college the real life, the reality hit me. Like in placements and stuff, no? We have placements from Deloitte to normal company, like BPO comes somewhere. I used to attend, because I was in dire need of job back then. I was deprived. So somehow it hit me hard when I was talking in jam sessions and interviews. I used to give very bad examples, no articulation, talking your mind out. Okay, you fumble and mumble. I got rejected from like 9 companies back to back in 3rd year, and I had an injury.
That is hard.
Like that injury was like crazy injury that I had. I had in my abdomen muscle. My rectus sheath muscle was torn, and I couldn't sit for a long time in class. I couldn't sit for interviews for a long time.
So you are dealing with your
physical and mental, and back then I used to be in relationship. And that was very toxic to me back then. I never used to I never knew how to handle the other person. I couldn't handle myself. I used to handle the other gender. It was very challenging for me. It was like 2016 and 2017 was like most challenging and transformative years that I could say.
That was also the time where you probably had a lot of first experiences.
Man.
Your
First
relationships
experience.
or your
Correct.
dealing with so many people at once. So to come back to the question, these experiences culminated into you being what you are today and speaking freely without any inhibitions, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm still figuring it out. I'm still figuring it out. But what I could say is like we all should consider ourselves as a work in progress. Yeah, that's very important. There's no end. This means
You are not completed.
Yeah, we're not completed.
You're always building yourself up.
Yeah.
And what's to lose? Just try it out.
Correct.
You know?
The other day I was watching one show. One of the biggest Telugu producers, Allu Arvind. He's around 60. He's around 70 years. He was telling about he being very like adopting to new stuff. He was telling, if I sit with my age of people, like I could not learn anything. If I interact with new age like young people, you have to learn a lot. In the same sense, to me, it's like we should learn a lot from different people. We can learn a lot from different people. So that's my intention in starting a podcast and getting a guest on my podcast. So it's about learning from different people, different experiences, different perspective, right? And also to me, this college and people and being with people. And these days, it's not very possible to be with people and chill out. No, it's very important to connect somehow. Socially or virtually.
It is.
Yeah. So people, I'm a kind of people person and not fully.
You are an ambivert.
Yeah, ambivert kind of thing. I could balance. I can be with myself. I can be with people. But I try to take value out of any conversation. I just don't wander around and stuff. I feel very low and guilt. I have this guilt if I don't get anything out of any conversation.
If you are doing something, there has to be any purpose.
Yeah. Right.
Without purpose whatever you do is problem.
I feel like it's a waste of time. That's why I value it.
I feel targeted. That was deep.
Maybe even okay. My thoughts, my train of thoughts were like going haywire, but hope it
gets it got to me. That was deep and that was sad, Revant. But then it has a happy ending. So
happy ending. There's no happy endings, sir. I don't believe in happy endings. I only believe in enjoying your process.
Okay. Just building yourself up.
Yeah,
always.
Process orientation.
So let's get back to this media ventures thing. You have spoken to me a lot of times about your ideas on building a company or companies that are dedicated to content creation, right? So you spoke me about video content, audio content, and so what are you working on right now?
Right. So currently I'm hosting my Pure Perception with Revant Amboj. The other one is NBK. We just had a season break. We just did some 10 episodes and we had on the break for that. And the other one is Sunday Summaries. Even that's for that even we completed season 1. The other one is Telugulu. Telugulu is one of my
by Vamshi.
Yeah, Vamshi Krishna. He's one of our listener from Australia. He pitched this idea. I have this few contacts, like known people from creative space or creating content creation in Telugu space. So he was like, he pitched the idea. We were like, "Arey cheddam, we'll do it." We did the entire production, right from creating a cover art to from distributing an episode, like complete status. We started this, and we are getting a lot of reach to it because Vamshi is very tactical in getting guests and also is getting his audience who reached out to him. His audience are very extroverted. They want to talk. They want to give their
I have noticed, grown-ups coming into the podcast. I've seen a person who's probably very old, a man and also a woman. And that is when I realized that yes, Revant is up to something. Now that, from 20 to 27 ka, age, you have gone beyond that. Now almost everyone is listening to you.
Correct. Our strategy was that because we did a lot of mistakes in Telefendo and Crazy and Trust and Memories, Alpha. We all did a lot of.
These are all your previous ventures.
These are all my previous ventures. In that we just built products, created content, sold products with no idea of whom we are selling it, whom we are targeting it. So that's the idea. In pure perception, we don't want to do that error, because the most important thing for any product, any content, is your target audience, target group. Whom are you targeting? So that was the question that you asked.
If you're making a product, there has to be someone who's
Who has
ready to buy
yeah,
or consume it.
yeah.
Correct.
Because the content creators in the pandemic, they grew like crazy, Like every other guy was doing YouTubing, every other guy was producing podcasting. But where do you stand out? Like how do you stand out? Because the other people have a lot of values to add, but they don't have right amount of positioning. I've seen few content creators. So positioning and also like targeting more on your demographic is very important. And also coming to a media question, media startup. Like we started off doing legit stuff by creating a short film, right, in 2014. So from there we have this knack of creating stories, telling stories. But we don't have proper endings to the stories. But that's another issue. But we have a lot of interest in creating.
That short film was
Amigos.
Yeah.
So that was the idea. That was the beginning, inception of creating content, creating a end product that people can consume it.
Let's name today's podcast Podception.
Yeah. That's nice. So coming to this, so we have this idea, but we even tried to sell few physical products, like t-shirts, like hoodies that I'm wearing right now. Crazy, and we even sold some home decor products like bed sheets and this stuff for Elephando. We did a lot of shit, but what I strongly believe is doing all those stuff has brought us here. In knowing that this is a thing to do right now. So media is pandemic proof, content is pandemic proof, right? You have seen a lot of resurrections of Netflix, Amazon Prime.
You are the best example here because it did not stop you from anything.
Correct. If we are doing e-commerce, if we're selling hoodies and stuff, we would have sat with a lot of losses.
Correct. Yeah.
So my strong gut feeling is like we have stopped, we have pivoted at the right time, because my friends like Bharat and Srinu, these people are my partners. We did it. They invested in business. They used to feel like, why are we stopping it in the middle? They were like clueless. But my gut feeling was, in Nadavadu, people are not, because I'll give you an example.
It is very geographically limiting.
Correct. And I'll give you the other interesting example is that we started Crazy.in. It's a brand that we produce of pop culture t-shirts and also Telugu content t-shirts and hoodies and stuff. So when I started marketing it, no one were believing it that's my brand or Bharat's brand or anything. Okay.
Yeah. So because you have not put yourself out there, no one knows. It's just like brand hai.
No. We are trying to put it out. We're trying to putting it out. This is our brand. Crazy. They were not believing it. People are not believing that Revant Gadi brand. Crazy anedi oka Telugu brand.
So they were accepting it as a good brand.
They were accepting that they were thinking that I'm faking.
Oh. So Crazy what was at that level now. Oh, great.
It was way ahead. It was way ahead of its time, because, and way ahead is like in a wrong sense, in a bad sense. Like it's very saturated. People were into Bewakoof, Soul Store and stuff.
Yes.
Who would buy from Crazy? Crazy is like just another brand. They used to be like, they're not trying to believe it. Then I told her, I invested some money in Crazy. This is my startup. Please, but then they bought it.
Oh.
I was like shocked. So from there onwards, I started building a personal brand. Why would someone buy from Revant's brand? They don't even believe it. So from there on, media, personal branding, this is all very important. So that's how I started my research. Podcasting is step one of creating a brand, personal brand as a whole.
Were studies also influential, essential to your current work? Or did you also learn from other resources outside?
Studies as in like, what do you mean by studies?
Studies as in your bachelor's.
Yeah. Studies to me, it's more of it was a very brief period, Harsh. We did only 3 years of studies, no? College, as I told you, college was just like an formal education kind of. It went off like, it's important also. But to me, YouTube. We are all YouTube university students. So to me, I don't even know to code, but I build websites for Crazy and Elephant. I don't even know how to use AWS cloud computing. I built a player, P2 player, P2media.in. It's a podcast player. I built it. It's all from YouTube. So that's how media companies sell. But the other important thing is a monetization. Whomever I talk to, they ask about doubles.
We have to speak about
stuff,
monetizing. We will do. This is a very personal question. Have you ever hated any of the pieces of content that you have created till now?
Hated?
Yeah, a bunch of them or just a single one. Please don't say mine.
No. I never hated any content that I hate the processes that I've worked with. Processes. Okay.
Can you explain?
I'll explain that. So if you want to create, so I'm telling this for any creator, any content creator, any writer in that say, your process is very important to me. I mean, I figured it out lately, but if someone is listening to this, it's very important to have a process to anything. If your process is right, you're going to enjoy the content. You're going to enjoy the process of creating content. So I'm always into processing. If I want to create if someone wants to produce a podcast, let's take that example. So creating a podcast, it's very easy to me because I've done it
so many times.
But if someone is starting, so podcast, you need to have a process. So first, what are you trying to do?
Yes.
First is like you have to create a trailer. Okay. Before that, you have to create the intention of creating a podcast.
Yeah,
so
you need to know, why am I even doing this?
Yeah, exactly. First thing you guys need to ask yourself is in producing any content is, what's your intent behind your content? As Gary Vaynerchuk,
I see Gary's
Gary Vaynerchuk,
posters.
Yeah, I ardently follow him, and he says that your intent behind your content is important. That's how you build your process.
He's also one of the biggest promoters of podcasts in general. He's always shouting, make podcasts, make podcasts.
Yeah. You have to have an outlet for your thoughts and your ideas, right?
And also he always, speaks about how he did not invest in Uber.
You have to take the right bets at the right time, and there shouldn't be any regrets. He talks more about regrets.
Yes.
And even talks about process. I was talking about that only. I'm just adopted that to my process. It's like it's very relative. Yeah, but the thing is, it's very important to have that process, like content, the intention, the way you want to present it. You have to visualize stuff before doing it, and also do it very consistently, and also do it improving episode by episode, or improving. You have to be better than yesterday. You have to just put those metrics to yourself, because it's on mental metrics. Nobody comes and assesses you, Harsh, you're doing this right, you're doing this wrong. You have to have that mental audit, what I'm doing. And so that's your process. You have to build a process to yourself and create content, and in any media form.
So let's get back to where I stopped you. Monetization. It's a very complicated thing. So tell me, are you planning on monetizing your content?
Yeah, definitely. Monetization is the goal to any creator, because it keeps your the content production running, right? So monetization right now, see, before creating any content, before putting your work out, your portfolio out, it's very important that you have your network set, distribution network, right? So I was listening to Varun Maya's episode. Varun Maya is one of the startup founder of Avalon Meta startup. So he tells about this Beyblade analogy. I loved it. So you have a Beyblade, you have a launcher, right? Your launcher is some way you start. You're the Beyblade. You're the device. So when you launch your Beyblade, it falls down and it spins around a place. Yeah. So the places that it spins around, it's your distribution. Okay. And the way it spins is your process of creating content. Okay. And where it distributes is and how you launch it is also important, right? So this is another. So it's very important for any content creator, any person to say distribution is very important. So distribution is not just like putting your content on Anchor or YouTube and just think that it goes think that it goes viral or you get views or something. Distribution is like thinking like how are you marketing it, and how are you interacting with your listeners, okay, and how are you taking cues from your listeners, taking feedbacks from them, and also creating your own, and also catering to their needs. At some starting may it's all vague and stuff, but while growing it's very important. See, even I'm still growing, as I can't give you short strategy or something. I'm still just 400 change followers. I still have, because my idea is to go organic. I don't promote, I don't do giveaways, I don't give like ads and stuff. My idea is to just put it out there. If someone likes it, they'll consume it. If they don't like it, they'll trash it off. So that's how it works. And monetization is very important, because in podcasting, to be very specific, podcasting, it's very too early to monetize your content, because the value that you give, the people don't pay you bucks for your content. You have to validate it sooner or later, but slowly it takes time. It's like giant elephant. It's still raising elephant.
Also, podcast is still in the very nascent phase in India.
In India, yeah, definitely.
We have time. We will see what happens.
Yeah, definitely, it's growing, because the other day I was in the Spotify's Podcasters Day online conference. The people were like all the Q&As were about monetization.
You were in what? Sorry?
It's the Spotify Podcasters Day conference.
Okay.
It's a virtual conference.
So you got invited?
No, it's all like invite all for podcasters and creators. So a lot of people have come. It's all about the like podcast CEO, Spotify CEO India, Spotify CEO US. I mean, the entire they came. I mean, podcasting category. It's not just music and stuff. It's podcasting category. So people are asking about monetization. They were like, we're just adopting to it. And also there are a lot of advantages, disadvantages of podcasting. There are a lot of people who don't like listening to podcasts. I have my friends whom I pushed, Vinandra, listen. Then nobody listened to it. Nobody gave a shit. Once it came on the paper, like newspaper. So from then on they're listening to it. So it definitely takes time. It definitely takes enough amount of distribution, the volume and stuff. That's how it is right. But monetization, you have to keep you have to create content in which you can integrate brands and stuff.
Because see, when I started recently, and it's just my 3rd or 4th episode that I'm doing, and still I have thought about monetizing, but then I also feel like if I do not have a product in place, no one is going to give me bucks.
Correct. Exactly.
And then also it's like, do I even need to monetize this? It's a very big question I ask myself. If you were Harsh and you were making a podcast, would I pay you to listen to you? And most of the time the answer to myself is no, I wouldn't. And that is how I justify that maybe this is not the right time. Later, couple of years down the line, people will start realizing its importance, maybe, and then
definitely
they'll get ready to
people
pay.
are getting adopted to it. Even I myself has promoted a lot of podcasting to my family members, my friends, and stuff. People are listening to it. People are like, thanks, they're thanking me to giving them, because people are like exhausted staring at screens. They're working, they're studying and stuff.
A couple of years ago, when I first came across podcasts, I listened to BBC's The Assassination.
Okay.
It's about the Prime Minister of Pakistan at that time.
Bhutto.
Yeah, her name is Benazir Bhutto. Yeah, so she got assassinated in a blast.
Okay.
And this BBC reporter, in the span of 10 to 12 episodes, talked about her journey. And then there were also bits that had real audio from that time when she was speaking, or when she was in the rallies, and when there was a blast. So it got me so gripped. I had no visual in front of me.
You can imagine.
Yeah, but I started imagining Benazir.
Right.
That was crazy. And that is how I got hooked to the concept, the idea of podcasting. And then I started listening to Stuff You Should Know. That is one of the biggest podcasts in the world. And then I was like, this is a great medium, because when you're traveling to your office, to and fro, your
in cars and stuff, people are listening to it.
That is one of the best time where you can just sit back and take in so much of information.
True.
Right? best time spent ever.
Yeah,
I must say.
yeah. You can make your commuting time, you can make your traveling time very
Worthwhile.
productive. Yeah.
So that was nice. I've got a lot of insights from you. So now that we are coming towards the end, tell me, what are your plans in the future? In regards to podcasts, or also your other personal things.
Okay, my plans regarding podcasting is like I want to produce more 5 podcasts this year, 2021.
That's it?
Five podcasts.
Oh, 5 different podcasts.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Two are in production. They are in planning stage. And personally, my 2021 agenda is to just keep going. And
pushing
also,
hard.
And also, I realized that you have slack times. Like you don't feel like doing anything. In some time, you need to have those. I used to, feel bad about those days. I've done nothing.
You're just holding yourself to imaginary rules that what if I don't release this episode today? Oh my god, people will.
No, why am like my idea is like, why am I not scaling it faster? Why am my followers are very low? Because we have a target in Jan 2020. We have target of reaching 1,000 followers in 2020, but we only got to 468. I feel low, but this year I'm not going to have that, because I made my mind that it's not about the followership, the likes and stuff. It's about more of an content legacy.
Yeah, unless you are some big brand or someone who has to deliver things, you should not push yourselves into things where there are just high standards which you cannot deliver, probably.
Yeah.
While I also talked to you about this earlier, even a single person listens to you in the entirety of the episode, you have made something of value then, right? That is more than enough than having a lot of followers.
That's a very good mindset at the start of doing anything.
Correct.
Okay. You don't get carried away by if you don't get any, if you have a metric of like if my podcast episode should be listened by 100 average. Like I used to get I want to get 100 downloads today. If you don't, you feel low.
Yeah.
You don't do other episode with same mentality, same framework. So it's very important to have that at the start. But when you scale, only if you have a scalable mindset.
Correct. Yeah.
I want if you have, see, it's all you, as you told me, in capitalism it's all about growing and scaling and pushing yourself the top, right? Like we have know that Maslow's hierarchy. We want to be self-actualization ladder. So somehow we feel if you are stoic enough, if you're chill and stuff, it's okay. Well, if you want to put long-term mentality, I do have long-term. My idea is to I'm seeing P2 in the 2030.
Okay.
I'm not seeing P2 in 2021.
Correct.
I'm getting the mentality, the reach that I'm planning. Okay. So if you have that long-term approach, it feels you push yourself. You go around with the scheduling and stuff, creating content. You if you have a slack time and you feel like shit, I'm not feeling it. You have to push yourself. That's how it works. So my agenda for 2021 is to just do what you're doing with the right intention.
You are very anti-capitalist, but you have 4 podcasts under your belt right now. You're trying to accumulate everything under your own media. Why can I target you by saying that at one side of the coin you say that you're very liberal. You want things to grow by their own freely. Yeah. But then at other side of the coin you want everything under your belt.
Yeah, under me is like I want to create this bandwagon, or else see if you want to.
Or do you think that you have a good vision and you want to help people?
Yeah, helping was my first intention, but the deeper intention is like if you want to go faster, go alone. If you want to go far, go with, you go with the other people, right? So my intention is like collaboration, helping, bro. So that's how I want to keep it. I'm trying to balancing. I'm not so greedy to like all podcasts should be under I'll present it, I'll produce it. It's not like that. Okay. It's like I want to help them in the right ways. If you're into podcasting, even I asked you to, Harsh, I want to present how I saw Harsh. We're still planning on that, right? So my idea is, look, are podcasting ane vallu, I'm going to take it to the right people. I have that mindset. I don't know whether I could deliver results and stuff, but if we're going together, we can reach more. We can reach more people. That was my intention. And also organic growth is like, it's my principle. I don't want fame. I don't want to be known by like a lot of people. I just want to be myself, and people can be with me if they like being myself.
That is great, actually.
And it's very challenging as well. You have to face a lot of alone time, to spend a lot of time with yourself. So that's how it works. But if you're enjoying as long as you enjoy the process, it's cool.
That's enough.
Yeah, that's enough. Arey, Harsh, I have one question, Harsh. Like,
oh my God.
I got a lot of questions. I want to ask you a question. What are your plans for Why So Harsh? And what's your intention behind creating Why So Harsh? You're very adamant when I asked you to create an Instagram account in the 3 to 4 months back, and now you started producing with a lot of setup and stuff. Right? It's quite a bit of transformation, perspective change.
It'll sound really dumb. Why So Harsh really does not have any motivation behind it. So see, Harsh is my name. Why So Harsh? Just because Harsh has different name in English, I was like, why not have a catchy title? Because
you started a podcast by just getting a quirky name.
Yeah, I am really random at this. The only thing I want as a takeaway is insight for myself. I'm not doing this for you or
self improvement.
Yeah, I'm not doing it for anyone. Don't get me wrong, but while I am talking to people and I record it, if someone is listening to it and if they find it fine, good, that's great. But it's not my intention, right? And podcasts in general, because I was also a photographer.
Correct.
And I like to create content in general. It excites me. It excites me to have equipment in front of me, to operate them. It just satisfies my hunger that way. That's it. Really nothing.
Awesome.
Very random. So
all the best, Harsh. All the best. and hope you'll allow me to present your podcast to my listeners.
Oh, let's talk about it outside the podcast.
Off the record.
Off the record. It has been a great time. Why don't you pitch your podcast to my audience?
Okay, so I produce and I host a podcast called Pure Perception with Revant Anpuju, and I get people from different backgrounds, and they're all in progress people. They didn't achieve at a level of, they're not well known. They're all underdogs, and I talk to them, and they have a lot of insight to add to me and also to the listeners that listen along with me. So I recommend, and also I have this NBK podcast. NBK is a Telugu buddy comedy podcast, and it's very relatable. I created it because the podcast is all about our general experience, my personal and my friends' personal experiences that we faced. So if you guys want to listen, it's on all the podcasting platforms. NBK, it's Telugu podcast series, and Pure Perception is Revant Anpuju. So that's it. Hope you guys listen to it.
I will link all your podcasts
Please
in the description.
Do that. Please promote it. We need more reach.
Slowly the audio will fade away. Thanks for coming.
Thanks, Josh. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for doing this.